Hey book lovers, it is your girl Lala from This Black Girl Reads, and today I will be doing a 2-minute, yes 2 minutes, review of this book, Other Side of the Game by Amanda Parris. Okay, let's get started. Who are the women who mobilize, strengthening our communities? So that is the question behind this book, Other Side of the Game. So this book takes a look at the stories that are often left untold, the stories that are so important in the Black communities. So in this book, we follow 3 different women from different generations who essentially have to sacrifice parts of themselves or parts of their ambitions in order to strengthen the men in their lives. So let's look at the characters. So first there's Beverly, who comes from, I want to say Calgary or something. She comes from somewhere far in Canada. So she comes from there and she comes to Toronto in order to get involved in the movement. She joins the movement and she has a strong, powerful voice. She joins the movement, but a lot of her ideas, and her voice are suppressed by a man in the movement who is really not focused on her voice, and just whether intentionally or not intentionally, he suppresses her voice. So there's actually a part that I want to read. Where am I in time? Okay. There's actually a part that I want to read. Let me find it real quick. That kind of sums up her story, and I just love this part. So, okay. So it goes like this. Okay. So his name is Khalil. So he says, this is exactly the kind of, let me give some background. So in this scene, Beverly is talking about, Khalil had told her to write a speech. They're having kind of a rally, and he had told her to write a speech to say before the rally, blah, 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 blah. So something happens, and then he cuts her speech on the day of the rally. So he's like, no, we can't do your speech. So then he says, and she gets upset from that. So he says, this is exactly the kind of self-centered, individualistic mentality that destroys movements within. You need to check yourself and your ego and remember why we are doing this work and what the larger purpose is. Beverly says, I didn't join the movement to liberate Black men only. Seriously. I just love that passage because it is so descriptive of our climate and our community. Yeah, so I love that part. So that's Beverly. Another woman that we follow is Akila. So Akila, she is part of the movement. She essentially runs the office, and she has a small son. She's a single mother, and a lot of her work is centered around helping liberate the wrongfully accused or the wrongfully convicted men within the community. So if someone gets arrested, she's the one who tries to get them bail. She's the one who tries to get them lawyers. She's the one who kind of holds down the men within the movement. So then there's Nicole, and this is kind of, I think it's like 30 or 40 years later within the same kind of community. There's Nicole. And Nicole is a single mother who gets back with her ex who went away to jail. And she gets back with him, and he's a drug dealer. And she although she lives in the ghetto, she's such a positive person. She makes a vision board. She has such a huge visions and aspirations and hopes for her life. And then she is with this man who eventually starts to lie to her, starts to cheat on her, starts to kind of try to control her life. And through it all, she's still there and still trying to hold him down. So they go through their tiff, and I kind of really like the way that their story ends in the ending. I'm not going to give that away because that's not nice, but I really like the way that their story ends. Okay, so this is way past my 2 minutes. I couldn't do it. I can't. I'm going to continue anyway. So what I didn't like was that, what I didn't like about the book was that I think it was too short. It was like, 112 pages, which I felt like I could have read so much more, but I think it's because it's a play And maybe if I had like seen it as a play, it would be different, I'm thinking. So what I loved about this book was that it really gave a voice to the stories that are often left untold, and I appreciate so much. Some of the topics covered include racial profiling, police brutality, the child care system in Toronto, and I'm sure it's the same throughout Canada. It talks about some other topics are ground roots community organizations, community building, the Black female experience, this notion of the ride or die chick. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a ride or die? So yeah, so buy, borrow, or bounce. I think you should definitely buy this one and give it a read. I think readers of Angie Thomas would love this book. Also, if you like True to the Game or any books like that, I think you would also love this one as well. So that's it for me today. Let me know what you thought of this one if you read it, and let me know if you are going to buy, borrow, or bounce. Okay? Thank you so much. See you guys in the next one.